have their voices heard and get the information out to the people. It's a chance, whether you're here at my house or you're here, it's a point for everybody to listen to and let their voice be heard and let the public decide what they want to do. With that said, tonight we have Jodi Walker. She's jumping in the commissioner as a commissioner candidate, and you will be running for whose seat?
I'm running for Mark Arndt's seat.
So she'll be running for Mark Arndt's seat, which is up this year, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So his term is up. She's be running for that. And where the controversy comes in is, and I'll let her explain that one when she introduces herself, is she's going to be running on the Democratic side, which we've already talked to two Republicans on the Republican side. So let me just give my opinion on that. Since this is local government, it's lower government, I do not feel that it should matter for anybody when you vote on either side because we are local government. Now, I think upper government should take this as an example and watch these races because it don't matter when you, it don't matter which side you run on out here because we're running on what you're going to do for the people.
Right. The only thing that matters in this is Morgan County.
Exactly. So it don't matter to me. It don't matter what side you're running for, and that's what I like about local government. With that, I'll let you introduce yourself. Let them know who you are for those that don't know, and for the ones that don't know what you do. Because I mean, everybody should know what you do, what business you're in.
We're
not business, but what you help in the community with. And I'll let you introduce all that and give them a little background on the family and growing up in Fort Morgan. And then we'll get into the controversy.
Awesome. So I'm Jodi Walker. I'm the founder and CEO of a program called Kids at Their Best. And we have 3 different buckets that we run. We run food service, we run leadership, and we run an amazing summer program that's going to have 19 sites and 132 youth employees.
Wow.
Yeah.
What ages?
We hire some 13-year-olds, primarily 14 through about 22.
Okay.
So we take them through 8th grade, all through college.
Okay.
And it's a sweet deal because you can get in like as a 12 or 13-year-old, when you're too cool to come to regular programs.
Yeah.
And you can get in as a volunteer and you can be junior staff and you're learning about leadership and you're learning about responsibility and getting meals out and activities and all those things. And then you come back while you're in high school and you got a summer job. And then our college kids, once they hit 17, they can join our AmeriCorps program. And when you're an AmeriCorps member, you get at least $1,500 in scholarship money with your job every year.
Yeah.
So we put out $50,000 in scholarship money last year.
So with doing that, what's your background to Fort Morgan?
My background to Fort Morgan is I was born and raised here, and I gotta grow up during some of the best of Morgan County. Well, Robin knows this. Like people were coming together, and we had festival in the park, and my dad was on the chamber, and my mom did things, and all the sunrise service was. You were always at some church, and then there was breakfast, and we walked to school, and we did all these super cool things, and that was just normal when I was growing up. But then I left because, like everybody wants to leave, right?
It comes back to Fort Morgan.
Right. And I was a medic and I was a firefighter and stuff like that. And I came back and I went to work at the sugar factory. And I was in a car accident and I ended up with a traumatic brain injury. And so fast forward 5 years of speech therapy and physical therapy and all these different kinds of things. And now I'm a single mom with 3 kids. And this county looks way different than it did when I grew up. Like I can't leave. My mom and dad are my support system. I can't make the drive to Denver. I can't keep my thoughts together enough to do anything. And I don't want to work at Walmart because then I can't afford the childcare. And I want my kids in activities and I can't afford the activities. And it was a really rude awakening.
So does the Kids at Their Best help with funding for the activities that kids want to do right now?
We do some. All of our programs are free. Every program that we have is at no cost.
Okay.
And we actually started out as a dance studio in Brush.
Okay.
And it was really quick that we realized that if you didn't have transportation, it didn't work if we were in Brush. We did like a sliding scale for fees. Yeah. And we found out that even a sliding scale is too much sometimes. And we were teaching ballet, and there's all these little boys, and it's like, ooh, what do we do with you guys? So that's where we started expanding and started perfecting our mobile model. So we started going to Wiggins, and we were out at Riverview Christian for a while, and we went out to Weldona, and we were in Akron, and all these different places where kids are, and nobody's coming to the kids, right?
So is it that? So the younger kids, they have, you said high school and college. Are they like a Big Brother program to the younger ones?
A lot of ways, yeah.
Okay.
Because we have, like in the summer, we'll have all these little kids at programs. But when you're a sixth grader, what is more cool than a high school student?
We actually get popularity then.
Oh yeah, like they are the ultimate. And we always hire like our staff. I don't know if you've ever seen our staff in the summer, but our staff speaks like 10 different languages, and we always have some kids that are LGBTQ, and we have kids with disabilities. So it's like this giant slice of who Morgan County is.
Yeah.
So all of our little kids have somebody that they can look up to that talks like them, acts like them, has the same experience as them, have the same struggles as them.
So on the younger kids, on the stat side of it, why don't they have? Where's the mom and dad?
A lot of times they're working.
Yeah. And do they still participate though?
We have family nights.
Okay. Well,
We should have you come to a family night.
Well, this is gonna go. We're gonna talk.
We'll talk politics in a minute.
Well, what William and I are involved in. So I teach the All Pro Dad at the Columbine School.
I saw that.
So, which is a program. It's not only just for dads. I mean, kids that don't have, if they don't have the dads, or you can use grandpa, grandma, or mom,
right.
Whoever. But it's trying to get, and I'm doing this. So I started at the Morgan Family Center.
Right.
Program, okay. And now I do it at the Columbine School. I went out on my own. It's
Okay.
All Pro Dad. It's put on. It's backed by the NFL, some of the NFL players, and it's one of the head guys is Tony Dungy from the Colts, the old football coach. They're the ones that kind of push it and are involved in it. It's a program that I pay for. I funded to take to Columbine School. It's not a huge expense. That's not the issue. The thing is that I do it for myself. So I want to say I'm doing it. I need to learn to be a better man and a better person.
Right.
So that's why I do this for myself.
But it's hard anymore.
Yeah. So I do this at the school, and William took my class when I used to. It was a 13-week program with the Morgan Family Center.
Okay.
COVID hit, and it kind of went a mess after that, and it was hard just to get rolling again. But this one is just every other week we meet for 30 minutes, do some activities with your kid. You walk them to class. I encourage the dads to come to lunch at least once a week or every other week, or at least twice a month.
But that's always the coolest thing is being able to come, like my dad's coming to lunch today.
Because my son, at Columbine, I don't know how they do it at the other schools, but at Columbine, Alex will go and we get to sit on the other side of the lunchroom. He gets to pick two friends. He gets to sit with dad and two friends. So it's like a rock star there.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And then you walk into class and stuff in the mornings after the program, but at lunchtime, it's the coolest thing. So hopefully we can do something.
We should definitely talk about that
because it's something I want to keep going over the summer throughout the school years, and maybe get in the other schools. So I have the chapter for Fort Morgan.
Okay.
So if we get some dads that want to do it at the other school,
we should absolutely talk.
They can branch off of that.
Because that's right along the lines of, in the summer we have, like, our parents are usually working.
Yeah.
And it's not like childcare is expensive.
Yeah.
So the little ones
if you can find it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's true. Yeah, if you can find a slot. So we do family nights where we provide the food. And so instead of staying at home and cooking supper, you can all come to the park and we're going to do an activity. And you're going to meet your neighbors so you're not isolated.
Yeah.
And it's this kind of vibe
that's
going to raise Morgan up.
So over the summer, what I'd like to do is, you guys, everyone knows that I get involved in a lot of things in the community.
Right.
We got Food Truck Friday. We got that coming up. I do stuff with other events throughout the town and other fundraising stuff. Just like we were at the gala on Friday.
Yeah.
Is I would like to have introduced the All Pro Dad to those other events to do, so the dad and the kids or the daughters can also do the volunteer time. The volunteer.
Yeah.
All I ask for is your time. I'm not asking anybody for money. I'm not asking for any funding.
Right.
I just want your time. Just take your time. Take your parenting time for an hour. Like I said, it helps me because I know what I need. And I'm sure I'm not the only guy out there that needs it.
But that's one of those things that the timepiece, like time is precious anymore.
Yeah.
It is hard, but kids, man, even carving out an hour that's just for the kids.
And that's where I my biggest bad habit is that my timing. I got so much going on. I get myself lost in work. I don't, and my folks in my family help me out a lot with my son. But
that's not dad.
Yeah, and that's what I need to change. I know that's what I need to change. So hopefully that's why I do it. So I'm not doing it for anyone else but myself, and hopefully everyone else can, work off of what I'm trying to get done. So other than that, outside of that though, but that's probably another podcast. But
that's a whole other podcast.
So I know you're how do I want to say this? You're a big controversy in town. Let's just put it that way when it comes to politics. You're opinionated. I am. And that's cool because that's
and I'm an oxymoron too.
So I think we need to have that type of stuff in government and in the commissioner seat. So other than being opinionated, what are you gonna bring to the table to get along with everybody? It's funny because I've had a couple of people say, because you're outside the box.
I am.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. I'm claustrophobic, man. I cannot do the box. Absolutely can't do it. And I've had a lot of people, they're like, oh, you don't play well with others. And it's like, okay.
I always just say they don't like to play with me. They don't like to play in my
But
that's
background. Exactly it, though. It's like, okay, well, if I don't play well with others, then how did we build this brand so big? Why do we have so many kids?
Yeah.
Why are we actually making positive change? And it's like, and it's not that I don't play well with others. It's that I call out systemic errors. And more than calling them out, we call them out and we offer solutions. Because people can call things out, I don't like this and I don't like that. Okay, well, what do you want instead?
What are you going to put change in it?
What are you going to do?
Yeah. So that leads into the big business part of what you do, being leadership, things like that. What leadership skills you bring to the table to be a commissioner? It's a big role. It's going to take a lot of time.
It is. Well, and it's really funny because I was probably the last one to jump in the race because I really stopped to consider this. It's like, man, I got a lot on my plate.
Yeah.
But I refused to do this when my kids were grown up because that was harsh, man. Yeah. It's harsh. And I couldn't do it when we were really, we've done a lot of growth in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Wasn't the time then. Now we're pretty stable where we're at. My kids are all grown up. It's like, I have time for this. And the thing that really pushed it over the edge is like half of the things that I should be doing as a commissioner, I'm already at the table. I'm already at those meetings. I'm already having those conversations. We're already in it. So might as well have a bigger voice at it.
Okay. What about let's rewind a little bit. So when you jumped in this race, you got an issue, you got a problem.
I did.
So.
And not so much. Okay, you go, then I'll go.
Well, it's an issue that I've talked to the other candidates about, small government, big government, the ones that we've interviewed, talked to, but I don't feel when it comes to local government, I wish upper government would take this stance, is that why do we have to pick sides?
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous. I don't care honestly, when we walk out the door, we're done with this podcast tonight, if I disagree with you on something, I'll voice it to you, and maybe you'll not like that I don't like it.
But we're still going to be friends. We're still going to be civil.
It doesn't matter because we're across the street from each other in business.
Yeah.
You're across the street from buddies of mine that did the podcast, Eric and
we have a super cool neighborhood.
Yeah. So we're 3 blocks within each other. William lives a block from the store. He's behind you at work, at your office. So we're going to see each other. Why are we going to fight around you? We're going to see each other in upper government, at city council, at commissioners meeting. I did the commission board for a while. You see all the people come in there, the things that get passed. I mean, so why do we have to pick sides? If that was the problem that you had because you wanted to run unaffiliated, correct?
I did. When I was thinking about this, I know how partisan politics get around here. And I didn't want to walk in strictly on a fight. And when I was kind of talking to people and saying, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, I was actually talking to a guy and he's like, oh, I think this is a great idea. And then he said something about you running as a Republican. And I'm like, no, like that. I'm not. I've seen so many people. Like, did you know the story about the district attorney that was Democrat and then
I've heard, yeah,
then she signs up as a Republican and says, because you'll vote me in forever?
yeah,
Like,
ridiculous.
do not call my people out like that. Anyway, this guy's like, oh. I'm like, really? We were just standing here having a conversation. What changed? And I was going to run unaffiliated. But I also really truly believe that the American government system was designed as a two-party system. The whole point is that you're hearing both sides. And ideally, you're hearing the middle part of both sides. Because when we get this extremist thing,
We'll get to, yeah.
yeah, extremism is never right.
Yeah.
But maybe there's a little give and take, like, like taxes. Nobody wants to pay taxes, right? But we all want streets.
I pay more taxes than anybody in town with alcohol and tobacco.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Through the coals on that one. So I know we're talking about taxes. That's. But I think, obviously that's the way of life.
Right.
I think
we also have to understand that diversity is what makes our world unique and special.
Right.
If we were all carbon copies or clones of each other, this would be a really boring world.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that but we just need to take out the pick and size. Who are you? What are you? I can't be your friend because you're a Republican. I can't be your friend because you're Democrat.
Right. And here's the thing. Here's the gift of this particular race. If absolutely nothing else, and I don't even get a single vote, the people of Morgan County had a choice.
Yeah. So who's your for yours to take a mark seat? Is there an opponent for that seat?
There's 4 of them right now.
And they are
Chris Musgrave, who runs Stagecoach Meat, Nathan Trout, who works for USDA, Kelvin Bernhardt with Sheriff's Department, and Rena Bessler with Bessler Farms.
Which we just talked to her 2 weeks ago. So okay. I'm going to put this out there right now since we named them all. And we'll get there's another seat that's coming up, which is Tim Lowe's, which you had in. And I don't know if
there's Tim and Gordon, and I think that's it.
Right. So there's 7 total? 8 total?
Yes.
Yeah. So we got all the names there. It's right here live on the podcast. What I'm putting out there, I'm going to offer it. I want everyone running the commissioner's race. Obviously, put you on those platforms individually so you can let your voice be heard. Let's do an open forum with everyone.
I'm game for this.
I don't want a bickering debate or a fight, but I want everyone to hear everybody's point of view. So I'll put the platform out there. I'll offer it. I'll sponsor it. I'll put it out there for those that want to come on it. If you don't come on it, well, then your voice is not going to be heard. So.
Right, but I love this part about it's hard to get information anymore, right? Because there's information coming from everywhere. How do you know what's real? How do you know what's not real? When do you have time to go meet all the people on the ballot, right?
Because they won't hear
this
it.
This is your chance.
I watched City Council.
Right.
Not a lot of people will watch it because it's boring. It's straight up, it's boring.
It's long.
I watched the commission meetings because I was on the commission on the board, but it's boring. People don't
there's
like
important things that come out of that.
So we'll open the platform. If everyone will come and do it, we'll do open discussion. I won't call it debate, but I'm going to ask the questions that probably you're going to get when it's scripted and
yeah, questions that people are going to ask.
Yeah, we'll let the public ask some questions. I'll ask that for the public, so it's not a bickering back and forth, but open, not scripted, live, and straight cut.
I love it.
Cutthroat. I think that's the way to do it because if not, then we're going to still have all the bickering and other people are going to hit all the sides. So with that, we'll go into fiscal responsibility. What do you bring to the table on that one?
Oh, we can make a dollar squeak. Okay, I can make a dollar squeak. A lot of nonprofits are started. I hate to pull us all back to nonprofit, but it's it comes back to what you do and what you know. A lot of nonprofits are started by rich people that want to do something good for the community.
Yeah.
I was a single mom with 3 kids and I had absolutely nothing. I took out a small loan to get everything started, and we have scraped and scrambled to create what we have. And that fiscal responsibility, like, you own a business. Owning a business is a whole different game than just working for somebody.
Oh yeah, because you got to put your own hours in and you don't get paid.
And I didn't, for the longest time, I didn't get paid, and then I made $600 a month. So I'm still scraping at home. So the really cool part about it is when I'm starting to work with parents that are in poverty and stuff, I'm like, I'm there. I totally get it. And we have, part of the controversy thing, we had a mom come blazing through the doors last summer, and my staff comes in and they're like, hey, we've got a mom out here. She's really mad. And it's like, okay. So, like, she was on the verge of losing her job. Her kid had got in trouble again. Then they got in trouble at after school, and it's like, man, you're just mad at
for it.
Well, because you take it out wherever you can, right?
True. Yeah.
And we were the last place that the kid got in trouble. And she was in a walking cast because she'd hurt her ankle. And it's like, okay, first off, what's going on with your leg? Like, let's, and she's like, and then I can't get to a doctor. And it's like, hey, let us help you make some of those calls. And then, and then we understand the kid a whole lot better. Like, he was acting out because the whole world was a struggle.
Yeah.
It's like, so let's give you some tools and let's see what we can do to help you out. And she was like, and I'm going to talk to my kid. And it's like, yeah, but, talk to us. We'll be a lot softer if we know that's what's going on. So that whole communication piece, don't ask me how I got the communication from fiscal responsibility.
But you gotta have that to talk to these people in this upper government. They're just wasting our money.
Absolutely.
So you guys come to a stop somewhere. I mean, you got to cut some things that we just don't need. We're living beyond our means.
Well, and we got to cut that whole squishy section in the middle.
Yeah.
Like when the taxes go up to the federal level and then they have to trickle through all of these people before they get back down to us.
Yeah.
That's the cool part about the commissioner race, though, is we're dealing with Morgan County. And I know some of the things that really brought me to the table this round is that I know we have people that want to invest in this community and they haven't been able to get a conversation going.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely wrong.
So I'm gonna take the other side of this because I know you're gonna get some backlash on nonprofits. People always say we're handing out money, we're giving. So with the issue, because I know you'll probably get some backlash on people coming. We got an immigration problem that's not only happening at the upper level but the lower level. We're gonna have a lot of people coming to our town, and they're gonna be people asking for handouts. Now they're gonna say handouts come, equal amount with give and take with nonprofits.
Right.
How are you gonna handle that issue? How do you separate what you do to the people that are coming to take and not give anything back?
Well, and there's social safety nets are a key part of society. Civil society does not run without them. Romans, Greeks, everybody, you've got to have some kind of safety net. But that safety net shouldn't be a lifestyle.
Okay, I agree with that one.
And that's exactly, we run a pantry. We run a huge pantry.
Yeah.
We serve like 2,000, 2,500 people a month.
I think there's a time in everyone's life, whether you're rich or poor, there's a time that you fall on bad times.
You do. Except with our pantry, 90% of the people that are going through our pantry have jobs. They're all working.
So in that, again, you'll have the backers. If they're working, why are they going to take from us?
Because when you're making $15 an hour and rent is $1,500 and you've got 4 kids, the month is longer than the money.
Okay.
So that's where you need a little bit of help, right?
So does it come out in the wash, or does it?
I know the way we run our programs, and I can't speak for everybody, but I know. So we were actually, Inception was doing some video the other day, and we've got kids that are working our pantry whose parents are in line for food. And their take on it is, we're taking something from you. You're helping us out with food. We should give you some assistance in getting that food to us. So I feel like a lot of our work specifically, because we do it on that leadership model and that social responsibility model, that a lot of our kids get the concept, you might be getting something that you give back.
So are the kids that are Are they locals? Or are they people that are coming with this immigration problem that we're going to have?
All of our people are locals, and yeah, at some point, I'm sure I'm going to get into the weeds on the immigration thing. I think what we're doing to humanity is criminal right now. I think the people that are making the rules don't understand what's going on boots on the ground. I know we were at a conference a couple months ago, and the hotel we were staying at was one of the ones where they were putting up a bunch of the immigrants. And one of the kids that used to be in our program is now RTD at Union Station. And he came over the other day and he's like, I'm getting a busload every day. And I'm having to send these people out because there's nothing for them and there's nothing. And I know there's programs in Denver that are really trying to solve this. Mm-hmm. But people need to understand things before they can make decisions on things. Yeah. And I think that's a lot of what we're missing in government.
I think they're trying to fill the void. It's how my opinion of what I should, because we're not producing enough kids right now to sustain what we've already spent.
High Point, Morgan County is one of like 3 counties in the state that has positive growth projections because we have kids and people are coming home to have their kids.
Yeah. So then we're at a 1 point, I don't know what the exact numbers are, like a 1.8, 1.9% of reproducing when we should be at like a 2.1 or 2.2. Right. But we also, we're living beyond our means. That's why. So we're bringing all these people in to give them, to make tax dollars because we're going to put them to work. But we also are not, we're using them to pay tax dollars, but they're not giving them any benefit. Because the government's keeping the tax money, using it to spend it in stupid things. And now, do I agree on how it's being done? No, I don't, because my dad came here illegally. He stood in line. He waited in line. He got his citizenship. He got his citizenship. He worked for $3.50 an hour at the beef plant. Pulled double shifts. I still went to school. We didn't ask for handouts. He stood in line, did his thing. Now, I just feel that we're going to give all this stuff and not get anything in return. When I think there's a simple solution. I think we should do with the people that want to come to our country. You do it just like I had to do when I turned 18. You sign that paper.
Oh,
you sign up for our military.
Oh no, I think you have choices. I think you can do AmeriCorps. I think you can do mission trip. I think you can do military. I think you can do whatever you want, but you need to be out somewhere before you go to college.
Yep.
100%.
You want to come to the United States, you serve in our military for the 4 years. You educated, you learn to read and write English, you find a job that you're good at. You come out of the military, you get your citizenship, and then you have something you're good at to go find a job. That only benefits us and it benefits them.
I also love, for all of our agricultural stuff, you used to be able to sponsor your, you need this many people.
On the sponsorship, someone on the back end was making money on that.
Yes. And the costs that are going into some of those visas and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and we just ran into something that we should do a whole other podcast on immigration. like
I get your opinion on that one, just because I lived through
so many things on that.
My dad lived through it. Not that I was able to see that because I was way too young. But he came here in '69, got his pardon when Bill Clinton was president. That's all I understood. Wow. But these people that want to say there's no rules, there's rules. Just enforce them.
But see, this is where we started. We started out in a trailer park with a bunch of immigrant moms that didn't have anything. Dads were working 12-hour shifts 7 days a week. Busting home. And those kids, they all made the grades. They all went to school. Those houses were spotless. And we connected because none of us had anything for our kids, and we all wanted something for them.
I think that on the kids end of that, on the immigration part, if we put those kids, they have a reason to get good grades. It's only gonna benefit the kids, our kids that are here, to do as good as they do, because our kids don't have it easy.
Well, but then there's this whole sad piece about all these kids that went through American schools and have been here since they were little, and now DACA's shut down. And I've got a handful of kids that they can't legally work. They can go to school, but they can't afford to go to school because they don't get any financial aid to do it. And you can't work, so you can't make the money to pay for school. Like, it's a pickle. That
one is controversial too, because I didn't get financial aid. I was able to get it. I wasn't able to. I mean, I applied for it.
Right. But if you can't work, how are you supposed to pay for your school?
That's where it should start at the parent level. I mean, that's what we need.
They don't have work visas. They've been here since they were like 2.
That's what I said. The parents that are here, just like I do, sign up. You want to be a citizen? Prove to us in the United States that you want to live in this country. Do it like I have. If I have to get drafted or sign whatever, I had to sign that paper at 18. Put these parents into some type of job corps or give. If you want us to give you something, you give us something.
But what about these people that have worked at agricultural businesses for 20 years? For 15, 20, 25 years?
There has to be a line where we start at. And the ones above it have to do it. The ones below it, we got to do something. It's got to start over, and someone's going to lose.
Well, and the whole thing with busing people to random places doesn't work either.
No.
You know, like, hey Juan, I've got like 45 people, and they've all got work visas, and they all want to work in nursing. You know, like, do you have something? Oh wait, Bill, you have nursing? Hey, can I send you like 30 of them? Can we talk? You have 30 jobs? Okay, here people, here's what we're gonna do, and then you're gonna go work for Bill, as opposed to randomly dumping them at Union Station at 4:30 in the morning.
The problem we have now, though, to change that is that we must work.
Oh no, I think these are all people that want to work.
Nobody wants to put that 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. time in. And
No,
the ones that want to are the ones that can't.
Well,
That's the problem.
yes, exactly.
So immigration would be a whole. But I think
That's going to be a whole beast.
But what it's going to come to is that commissioners are going to have to. There's going to be things that I think commissioners, city council, our law enforcement, we're going to have to draw the line somewhere because it's going to have to come up to decisions that you guys make.
Well, and it will, but here's the other thing. I mean, I had somebody say the other day, what are we going to do when we get a bus? And it's like, buddy, we're not going to get a bus. Like, they were way out east. It's
We're
like,
still far away from that. I mean, land
That's
use
the
and stuff
metric.
yeah, land use projects, businesses that come in. That's
right.
still commissioners' issues and problems. So
Absolutely.
one thing that I followed too late that the commissioners were doing was the solar projects. Now, I'm going to put the invite out there. I've asked these guys to come out on the podcast, the ones that are putting up these solar farms. I don't know your opinion, but I don't think we're getting all the info.
No, and I talked to somebody that was on that planning commission, and they're like, oh, there were a lot of people. It's like, well, where were your lot of people from? Were they actually local people, or were they people that were brought in from somewhere?
The ones that were here in town, the commissioner ones here in town, half the town, Wiggins was at that one. You couldn't fit them in the doors.
Yeah, but were they all from Wiggins?
I don't know because I watched it on the Zoom, so I couldn't say. But I did voice my opinion on it, and I just think that they're not getting the info.
Morgan County is the new frontier. It's where people are coming.
Because we're middle America.
We are, and if you get your choice of driving an hour in bumper to bumper traffic from North Denver to South Denver twice a day, or you get your choice of driving out here where your kids are going to a smaller school and they're playing baseball, and you can buy a $350,000, $400,000 house that you design, where are you going to pick?
Right.
Like, it's coming. And I think that's the other thing that's so important about this commissioner race is we need people that understand growth.
Yeah.
And we need people that aren't going to just roll over when developers come through.
I understand everybody hates change. I understand modernization. We need to modernize. We need to change the way we do things out here. We're probably behind.
But we don't have to give up our lifestyle and our way of life to do it.
And I think what these big companies don't understand is that when you take, whether it's an acre of land or 500 acres of land, those are generations that some of the people out here live that pass down from son or from grandpa, grandma down to their son to their sons. I mean, when you take land like that, you're stepping on sacred land because that's
But what about
generation
the
after
landowners?
generation.
What about the landowners?
That's what I'm saying. They're not.
Like the landowners,
They're not giving all the info with all this. The farmers are getting some money for it. People are getting money for all these solar farms, but when they get decommissioned,
like Sterling right now.
who's going to pay for that? These companies are coming in. They're selling them at each step. They're selling them off.
But that's where the commissioners come in.
So what would you
Is
do
it
to
okay?
change
So
that?
you're gonna sell your land for
Or lease it?
a
whatever.
wind farm wherever, right?
Yeah.
And it's my job as a commissioner to approve whether we're going to have this in our community and how it benefits. To me, the commissioner should be, basic pros and cons, and not pages and pages of garbage.
Yeah.
Something that Joe Blow can look at and be like, oh, here's the good things about it, here's the bad things about it. And
put it in terms that we understand.
exactly.
Because all this BS, I mean, you have to have a master's degree in solar farm to understand even what they're passing and what permits.
Right. But here's the other thing to look at. These people want to come here, they want to do things. So if you go up to them and you say, okay, so you want to come into our community, okay, here's the things I need for you to come into our community, they're probably going to meet those things. So our commissioner should have that on the list already of here's what we need. When Kiowa Park went in, there were no impact fees, there was no infrastructure dollars, there was nothing being sold with those houses because the people putting them up just wanted to get them up.
They're going to put in this. They're going to put in these farms. 450 jobs during construction, cool. But none of our people in town are going to work those jobs. They're going to be construction from out of town.
But
okay?
you can
when
put
they're done,
those things into the contract.
And they should. They should put these. That's what I'm saying. They should. Because I'm sure we have construction companies that'd be more to try to do if they don't know how to do the jobs, okay, fine. But give us a chance at the jobs.
Exactly.
And then when it's all said and done, you're going to leave us 10 jobs.
But this is also what makes me a really good candidate for this. Because I run a small business. I mean, Landry has his own business. I have my own business. We know about things like that. We have a small family farm. We've got all these things. I know a lot of my competition is just like, oh, no controversy. It's like, you've got to have controversy.
Yeah.
You've got to hear all the sides or you're not getting the whole story. And this is how the fat cats in Washington shove things under the table and it costs you and me.
They're telling people what to do instead of asking if they want to do it. And
I agree.
And when it comes is they're showing them some money because, times are tough, things are getting expensive. Totally agree. I totally understand that. But I don't agree with when you tell me to do something, but you didn't ask me if I wanted to do it.
Right. But this should be a private landowner's deal. Like, what you want to do with your land should be up to you. I truly believe in smaller government.
Don't get me wrong.
They've got
some people. I mean, there is people that agree with it.
Right.
But those people that agree with it, did they get told the story?
Well, and here's the other thing. The jail is driving me absolutely insane right now because as an elected official, your job isn't to look at tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, you need to look at tomorrow, but you need to look 20 years out. You need to look 25 years out. You need to look at the impact of what you're doing right now and how that's going to play out to your kids and your grandkids.
So about the jail, what about that?
So our jail, we just had 450, right? 400. Well, because it was built in 1980. Like, my dad was on part of those teams. And I remember he's like, I won't be home tonight. And it's like, why aren't you going to be home? He's like, I'm spending the night at the jail. Because that was one of the things they did when they opened it up is certain elected officials and stuff got to come in and see what it was. But, so that's 1980, right? We have had a long time to be thinking about what's next. Because if you build a house in 1980, you're going to need a new water heater, you're going to need a new roof, you're going to need all these things, right? So when the COVID dollars came through the county, there was $450,000 or $500,000 to do something in our community that will benefit our people, and it all went into the jail.
So, right there, why do our people in jail, why do our people in prison live better than our troops on the field? The jail people get fed better. They get better health care. Every night they get a bed.
Right.
Our soldiers out in the field don't get that.
I still want to have all these conversations with you, except here's the catch with that one. That is not necessarily a Morgan County issue right now.
But it's a country. That's a country issue because that money that's allotted for prisons and jails, that should be last on the list. You got in trouble, that's your fault to be in jail.
But our problem as a county is that we're going to have people going into jail, and we have to have a place.
It's not the Hampton.
But no, it doesn't have to be the Hampton. I'm worried about our people being like, not our jail, well, our jail people, but I'm worried about our officers being safe.
But you should not want to go to jail. Therefore, if you go to jail, you should
Right.
live the way you
and you should be uncomfortable. But our problem right now is the way this building was designed. Dude, it's been 40 years. Times are totally different.
I think that money should have went to roads, bridges, education,
mental health, housing.
You went to jail. You went to jail. I guess too bad you got to sleep with 20 other people.
Well, and this was the last argument I had with our commissioners. Is we were saying and here's the other thing. They had their minds made up where this money was going.
It's because every person in the prison system, every person in the jail system is a paycheck. It's a paycheck back to the
as
government.
A commissioner, I may think that's the absolute best project. That's where I want the money to go. I don't care what anybody thinks, that's what I want. But as being responsible to the taxpayers, being responsible to you guys, I need to open that up and say, okay, we need to come up with, here's this money that's coming in. We didn't expect this money.
No.
This is like Christmas from somebody,
let's
right?
Put it where we need it, and if there's 5,000 or 1,000 left over, we'll put it to the jail.
Well, and let's figure out what what are the top 3 projects?
Yeah.
And this may be my very favorite project. It may be in that top 3, but I shouldn't shove it down your throat.
No.
We should look and see, okay, what are the pros and cons on each one of these projects? Are we going to split this money up? Like you said, a little bit goes here, a little bit goes there. But it went into structure on that building, and my big issue with this is that building was built in 1980. Where is the repair bucket?
Yeah.
Why have we not been putting tax dollars into a bucket? Because you know, you're going to need repairs. You're going to need to upgrade things.
Yeah.
You're going to need to increase safety for your officers. Why have we not been putting money there for 40 years?
I agree with this money going to the police department, the police system. I totally agree with that.
Right.
Any extra dollars, first and foremost, I think should be invested into the school and the kids.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, we're as adults. I mean, you've already had your time. Your time. We're all going to die. That's what it comes down to. We're adults. We've already had our chance. Invest in the kids. Invest in the school.
Right, but Colorado is what, like 43rd in teacher pay or something?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
We're up here in economic, industry, master's degrees, and we're here in what we pay our teachers. Like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Again,
the teachers should get more. The school should totally get more. Having to ask your kids, which it don't bug me, it don't bother me, but when they need supplies at the school, well, you know what? The teacher should have all that stuff. I mean, why are we doing fundraisers to get supplies? We should already have that.
Yeah, why are teachers having to scrape?
Yeah.
We just need to break this down to like 20 different podcasts, Juan, man. We got a lot to talk about here.
So I really think that the jail and prison, you know what? That should be the last dollars. And I hope that we get some new commissioners in there. I really hope they think about that, where those dollars go. And I know the biggest argument is, well, we're already allotted that money. Right? We got to use it or not use it. You know what? Don't use it then.
Okay, but
put it somewhere else.
One of the first places where I started clashing with the commissioners, okay, maybe, again, I don't do the box really well. So we have a certain amount of dollars that comes into our community to address poverty, to keep kids at home, to keep families together, to keep roofs over their head. And this is probably 15 years ago when I first started the nonprofit. Our commissioners at that time were sending $150,000 back to the state because they didn't think anybody deserved it.
Well, the school could use it.
School could use it.
The police department could use it.
I don't know if police quite falls underneath that one. Lots of human services stuff, but when we get, I've had this argument with some people because they're like, we're not going to take federal dollars and we're not going to spend them. It's like they are coming down. We can either spend them or someone else is going to spend them.
They get put in their pockets, and then that changes their mind.
Yep.
So, what about you say networking, collaboration? What skills do you have there to obviously got to network with everybody in the community or county, I guess you could say.
Yeah, but it's more than just the county. I think I think I'm probably the strongest candidate out of everybody with these because we can come in here and I can be like, okay, look, I'm running and I know exactly this many things and this many people and this is all I'm going to look at, right? And that's not it. Like you've talked about, we got to look at the immigration thing. We got to look at businesses coming in. We've got to look at what our schools are doing, which are higher up issues. But we got to know how it's going to affect our community. I am at the Capitol all the time. We're working on legislation right now. I have connections with different county commissioners all across the state. Things like, just as simple as, oh, we're getting this money. Like, hey man, what are you guys doing with this money? Like, are you doing something really cool? There are some people that did phenomenal things that are going to have long-term impact with those dollars. Why didn't we pick up the phone? Not that we have to use those ideas, but you need ideas from other places. You need, sticky situation. Let's say that we have some kind of natural disaster here. You need to be able to pick up the phone and go, hey, you guys just had this last month. What did you guys do? Who do I call? How do I make sure that we don't get screwed by FEMA? All those kind of things.
So do you see how are you gonna handle the backlash on? I'm just gonna be straight up because that's what I'm about.
Oh,
they tell, oh, she's full of shit. She don't know connections. She don't have connections. She don't know who to talk to. She's never been to the Capitol. Because they're gonna say that. I'm not saying I don't believe, but you're gonna have.
Well, check out our webpage. We have pictures.
So how are you gonna fight that part of the debate?
And it is. It's like what do you need? Like, I mean, it's a running joke when boards that I'm on, they're like, we should, and then they're like, oh, where's Jodi's phone? Jodi will have that on her phone. And usually I do, but you don't take a nonprofit from being a single mom with 3 kids and knowing nothing up to a multi-million-dollar nationally recognized nonprofit without learning a few things along the way.
Because I'm sure, the reason I say that, because I'm sure if you go to the Capitol and whether it's up in front of public or behind closed doors, there's bullshit. And there's people that say one thing on this side of the door and they say something on this side of the door.
That was 2 levels. One, I parked, I forgot to pay for parking. I walked back to pay for parking, then the parking thing wouldn't work. Now they're telling me I didn't pay for parking. It's like, you need to check your cameras because I walked back and tried to pay for parking. So that's one of the controversies. But the other one was about the lobbyists. And the people that I was at the table with are like, oh, we can't talk to the senators. We have to have a lobbyist. It's like, no, you don't. You're tax-paying citizens. They're working for you.
You don't need the little man.
And I think that's one of the things that our commissioners see well, and I know a lot of the commissioners running think this. We're working for you.
Yeah.
We work for the taxpayers. It's not okay to not be in the office. It's not okay to not be around. And not that you have to be in the office 24/7. Like, I'm in the cool part of town. It's easy to find me no matter what office I'm in. But you can't be inaccessible. And a lot of times,
it's a big job.
They're inaccessible.
So it's a big job. How are you going to handle everybody always talks about when it's election race, president time, that 3 a.m. phone call. But
right.
Being a commissioner, there's a lot of hours put into it.
Oh yeah.
There can be days.
Let's clarify. There should be a lot of hours put into it
because you're working for the public. So how are you going to separate that from what you do now?
Like I said, a lot of the meetings and things, I'm already there. I'm already at the table.
There will be no conflict of interest?
No, because I think we're working all on the same thing. I mean, I can't think right now, I don't know, let's say another, like for these dollars, that could be a conflict of interest.
So at the state level?
No, these are dollars that come down to our county and our county decides where they go.
Okay.
Ideally, that could be a conflict of interest.
So would you have to separate yourself when that?
We don't take those dollars right now.
Okay. So there won't be no way to say something that, well, she's giving herself dollars because they're getting voted for or whatever, because they're not.
We don't take any money from the county.
So all state level stuff.
Yep.
And how does that like I always say, how do you have to work at the state level since it's not given down here? Do you have to go? Will that be a conflict of interest?
We're funded by almost every foundation in the state of Colorado, so those are private dollars.
Okay.
And they can go out however. We've currently got $1 million out right now in state level dollars. but they're dollars that are going to go through us into programs at the schools, coincidentally. So after school programs, so tutoring, math and science help, things like that. And then we'll also have dollars coming down that are going to go toward homeless youth.
Okay. So if you get into commissioner's seat, how are we going to get the younger kids interested in government?
I am right now looking for somebody to come hang out with me. Like, this is the perfect chance to learn about government.
Okay.
And I've thrown it out to a couple teachers, and the teachers are all swamped, and it's early in the race and everything.
Yeah.
But how cool would it be to be a high school junior or senior and be able to hang out with the
To
candidate?
understand what's going on.
Yeah, like see what goes on, see what goes into campaigning, see what goes into the whole process, all those kind of things. Like, I have had 2 or 3 people say, this is going to be so great for the kids.
Yeah.
Because they know, like, I'm going to be out having lunch with the kids.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing what I already do.
Right.
But when you're a kid, you know, like, government is up here, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's on the news, whatever. But when it's your boss and it's right there, like, this is going to be, like I said, even if I get absolutely 0 votes, this is a win.
Yeah.
Because people of Morgan County get a choice.
You
And
can't say that you did, right?
what?
I mean, people can't say that they didn't have a choice or
Right, but I mean, I know I've so many times I've like opened my ballot and went, oh look, I can vote for this person. That's it. That's it. It's already been decided. Why do I have a stupid ballot?
I got mine for is it which one just came in the mail?
Primary.
Primary. And I didn't want to look at it.
And the one's like 80 people, and you're like, who are these people?
Oh yeah.
And it's
And
a
then you can
vote
write
because
your
it's
you can write
federal.
your own, and you can write
Yeah.
whoever you want in there.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So
Yeah, but on a county level, we'll have a choice. And like, how cool for kids? Like, my boss ran for county commissioner.
Yeah.
Hey, I know what county commissioner is because
we need to do that because if not, we're not going to ever have younger generation. They're not into it.
right, but that's
They're not into
what we do.
So, with that said, the younger generation I had come over to the store. The Girl Scouts.
Yes.
I always I bought too many cookies, but
How
so
can you not? I made Landry pull over the tow truck the other day.
yeah,
We were like going through Fort Lupton, and there's 2 little girls on the corner, and he's like, honey, we've got a tow on. I'm like, there are Girl Scout cookies. And he's like, I promise, on the way back, I promise, like, let me drop the tow. So we dropped the car, we came back, and these little girls were like, oh. It's like, hi, I need 10 boxes of cookies.
So I bought 2 days ago. Girls come over. So Jesse Collins, one of my friends, works at DFA.
Okay.
Make sure you guys call, and it's Troop. Let me tell you right now. So Troop 71627.
71627?
Yep, that's the troop that his daughter does. And I bought too many cookies. So we're gonna do a review tonight. We already we're pushing time, but we're gonna change this. We're gonna try them tonight. We're gonna get the review from Jodi on them, and we're gonna pair them. We're gonna take it to Tuesday. I'm gonna pair it with do a review with when the councilman's gonna be on Tuesday.
Okay.
So, but we'll try them tonight, and I'll give you.
I put the troop in the comments.
Okay. So the troop is in the comments.
Excellent.
Jesse Collins is the dad, is her dad, and Leah Collins. Make sure it's Troop 71627. You guys call them. Get the cookies are going to be at Walmart. I think this weekend. I think it is. But that would give them a shout out because they anytime I call Jesse on some stuff, he's there in the heartbeat to sell us
And you
cookies.
gotta support the Girl Scouts.
Got to support them.
These
So
are young leaders. We gotta support them.
we will review tonight. We're going to go a little off politics. We were at the MCC gala.
Right.
I sat right in front of you. I wasn't sure if it was you or not. So we were talking at the table, and Monica was with us, and it was a good time. What did you think?
Right. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I love that the community comes together so strong.
Well, that was huge. Yeah, that was a huge one. So this is I want to say it was the 4th year. My 4th year that we do both bars inside, and we do the wine.
Oh, yeah.
We do both bars and the wine for the VIP. I help with it. I mean, the college does. They put their part in. but I help with it. I set it up. I tear down, do all that stuff, and
Right.
it's a good time. Susan always gets me involved, and I appreciate her doing that. But it was the first time I actually went to enjoy the event, had fun. So it was a good time. So auction
I
things
remember.
were crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna date myself here. You might remember this. I remember when MCC was started and they were in downtown buildings
Oh, on Main Street.
because they didn't even have a college yet.
20. This was the 25th year. No, 26th. 25 or 26. I can't remember. I got it on my 25th. It was
Yeah, of like.
of the auction
Yeah.
gala thing. But yeah, it was awesome.
But
It was
it's
a good
so cool that the community comes together because all the money raised at this big fancy event then trickles down to
time.
my
It's all
kids.
scholarships. Yep. All scholarships.
$500, $1,000, just enough to get you through that semester.
Yep. So it works out. So we did. That was cool. We also did last weekend. We did the. We talked with Brad from the youth football. So I'm sure, I don't know if some of your kids play the little league tackle football, Mustangs football. So it's what do you call it? Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, right?
Okay, how cool is that?
So he does the tackle football. So we're going to do something for them when the first food truck Friday comes up.
Nice.
So with the kids there, so that's always cool. So
That'll be cool.
get a lot of kids involved. If some of your kids play, tell them to go down and get a hold of Brad Barnes. They want to football, tackle football.
Oh,
So their registration is last registration is going to be end of April, I think it is, right?
Are they playing spring? Okay.
Yeah, they play the Greeley. It's a Greeley and Loveland League.
Okay.
So they play a couple games here, and then the rest are up there.
Let me know if you're doing something on Food Truck Friday.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get some more
We'll come buy
registrations for them. So
Sweet.
that's all. There's also funding for that. So if the kids can't, if the kids are something they can't pay for, because it's a $350 fee. Brad does have money set aside for the kids to get that, and also for shoes, the cleats and things like that. So when we told Brad that we would help some of the kids out for cleats, we would sponsor some of that. So we're going to do that for them. What else is going on right now that we need to let people know about? On our part, we still got every other Wednesday. The All Pro Dad, we meet at the Columbine.
Okay.
You don't have to go to Columbine to come to the class, but
Is it in the morning?
it's in the morning, so it's kind of. So once I get the Columbine one established, hopefully we can spread it to the other schools, which is next year. So
If you go to the All Pro Dad website, you can actually find our chapter, and it'll let you know for the meetings.
scan the
And
code.
even if you don't, if you just sign up for the information, you get the email daily to give you things to talk about with your kids.
Yep.
There's a new thing they just started. They started sending out text messages
The podcast.
for Friday. It's basically just for stuff for the weekend because you don't get emails on the weekend.
Like a
But it's a
bright
text message to, hey, do this, try this weekend, or it just especially when you're stuck, it gives you things to kind of focus on. It gives you tools, ideas. It just gets the juices flowing, and our kids should be the most important things to us in the whole world because they are going to be the ones that are wiping our butts one day. So you want them to wipe it gently. You want them to do it gently, not with a hose.
But remember during the gives you activities to do during like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Really?
So you could watch the game with your kids and do some activities with it, and then it did
how cool
obviously
is
at
that?
Christmas time and Thanksgiving. So there's a whole bunch of things. Yeah. Go and watch a bunch of the podcast is pretty cool. But the 5-minute reads, he likes the 5-minute reads in the morning. So
I do it every day with my son.
Yep.
It gives you some ideas. Not every day is a question for your kid. Sometimes it's just a tip on your life and how to just relook at things and some tips and tricks, which have helped me greatly. But the being able to ask
the kids get involved with you, man. That's what's cool.
Yeah, but that's
and we really started pushing to doing dinner at the kitchen table again versus sitting in front of the TV. And you're sitting there and everybody's just looking at each other, sticking food in their mouth, not knowing what to do. I use these questions as icebreakers.
Right.
And not only I have one kid that can answer the questions, but you know what? I have an amazing wife who has studied kids most of her life, and she takes it and she'll run with it.
Right. It's an extra piece. Hopefully we get it rolling.
Yeah, it's this kind of thing that people are going to hear this and they're like, oh man, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. And we've got to get, just like we talked in the beginning, this has got to come down to like, this is Morgan County. I don't care what the feds are doing. I don't care what the state's doing. I don't care what they're doing in Arapahoe or Adams County. This is Morgan County, and we need to work on what Morgan County does.
So Juan has really stepped it up too, because not only has he stepped up and to be a figurehead and help with this program, he makes sure we have something for breakfast for the kids. Even though you do get free breakfast at the school, when you come to these meetings, you get treated from something from Sugar Beet Treats.
Yep. So that's from Bella down to
Danishes, man.
Yeah, she does good. So yeah, she does the morning snacks
Nice.
for us. So it's all. Hopefully, it rolls into something more. So just like with the whole politic thing, I don't know if you know this.
Something.
I don't know
And
if
it's here.
I don't know if you know this, but I've told the other people I've come on and talked with other candidates. I don't know, but I'm looking for someone to convince me to vote because I've never voted. I don't.
What?
I'm registered, but I don't vote.
Hold it. We just had this whole conversation, and you have opinions, and then you're just going to keep them to yourself?
It's exactly what the other ones have told me.
Rude.
Reason for it is because I feel I am educated because I obviously went to school. I read what and learn about what I'm supposed to talk about, like tonight. But there's people that vote that don't even know what they're voting for, but they're voting for it because their neighbor did it, their brother did it, their mom or dad did it, or told them to.
Or they close their eye and do this.
Yep.
Or it's labeled under their party.
Yep. And I don't think that a person can vote straight up and down either side.
No.
When it comes down to it.
I wish we would vote more for the people and not for who the money that. Do you know what we could do with the money that are going into ads and politics right now?
What it comes down to is the person popularity vote. I mean, let's just be real about it.
A lot of it,
but
that's where we need people like you on.
We need to take away sides, vote on the issues, and the person that
and the people
that get voted
that are most like
issues
you
are the ones that run the show.
And right.
And the seats that, just like I tell everybody too, the seats that are there from when we were kids, when I grew up in school, regardless of who won the presidency, it was respected. So whether it was Obama, Trump, Biden, and whoever gets the next one, and back down to Bush Jr. Sr., it should be respected.
Absolutely.
The day after
that's how our democracy works.
The day after they win that seat, the way I see it too is the day after they win a seat, you got to know if your son or your family members go to the military, that's their boss. So you disrespect the boss, you disrespect your kid.
But that's why you have to have a voice. And being a business leader and being a parent, you want somebody in there that's going to set up the best future for your kid.
What's bad about that?
And if you don't vote.
Well, what's bad about that, how we come to a country and as people is that if I take a side and I voice it to the country or to the city, you won't do business with me because I'm a Republican or a Democrat or I'm affiliated.
See, and this is going to be my biggest Achilles heel on this whole thing. Because somebody said the other day, are you going to go get, what do they call it, endorsements? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no. And they're like, why wouldn't you do that?
You can't put people out when you do endorsements. It's BS.
Because I said, the Republicans are going to get endorsed by the Republicans. The Democrats are going to get endorsed by the Democrats. And then everybody's going to be looking at that list going, you're exactly right. Well, I'm not going to do business with him. I saw what he did. It's like, I don't want to cause division in this community.
But that's where we're at. When it comes down to
we need to call it out.
When it comes down to the business part of it, and people that want to not do business with opinions, I guess let's do that. We want to do business because of my opinions. You should do business with me because
you have a good product and a good business.
Not only that, but when you do business, make sure you do business in town. And do business with the ones that do business with the ones that pay your city tax.
Yeah.
Now, all these streets, your cops, your schools. So my business pays for state and city, and tobacco and alcohol is the biggest tax items in the state in the country. So when you go shopping next time for beer, booze, or whatever, remember to shop at the stores that pay your city tax. Remember that. Because
then that money's cycling around. But this is also
when you go to my store.
Right, but if you go to Daveco, then you're benefiting somebody else.
Well, and it's in our own county. Is what I'm getting at. when you shop at my store, my tax dollars stay here. Your dollar that I make as profit, I usually give it back. I usually give it back to the school,
Exactly.
to what we do fundraising. But my city tax dollars pay for what happens in this city, and there's only a few liquor stores in our county that do that. So when you shop, make sure you shop at the stores that pay your city tax. So I said about that one.
I did not know that. I did not think about that.
So, end of the podcast, we'll wrap it up. We're going to get, again, I'm going to put the invite out there for everyone that's running in the commissioner seat or commissioner's race to come out to, we'll get a forum put together, open. We'll open it to the public. I'll sponsor it, and we'll see if we can get the venue, which I'm sure we won't have a problem with that. And we'll get you guys to do a respectful, non-bickering debate. Or talk, let's put that, discussion.
Nice.
So, let's try to put that together in the next couple of weeks or so, maybe. We've got time for that one because you guys have a little bit of time. So, other than that, what do you want? Any last words you want for voters to know about you?
You know, I am not fancy. I am not, I'm not oh my gosh, I'm so perfect. Allow me to do this. It's like, I think actions should talk louder than words. And I have a really strong set of actions.
Let's just face it, there's going to be controversy.
Well, yeah, because otherwise you open your ballot and you can vote for that one person on the ballot.
So we got choices now. So we got some choices on the ballot. So with that, guys, thanks. If you guys didn't watch all of it, go to the beginning and watch the rest. Watch the first one. We had Brian. He's running for District 63, which against Dusty. Hopefully we get them two together. We're going to get them do some discussion, some Q&A. But Tuesday we have Amanda Rosenfield from Mandy's Treats. She's gonna be on the first one.
From Sugar Beet Treats.
Nope, Mandy's Treats, another one. Sugar Beets at the block.
Another one?
Amanda Rosenfield. She'll be on, and then also a city council member. What is Montford?
Jeff Morford?
Jeff Morford, that's what. He'll be on Tuesday. Tuesday night, he'll be the 6 o'clock, and Amanda will be the 5 o'clock.
Nice.
So check those out, and then we also got Sasha coming on in 2 weeks.
That's a good one.
And then we'll kind of work our way down through the wards there in the city council, so we can get their opinions and
April 16th, Food Truck Friday.
And this Food Truck Friday's coming up quick, April. So
I love Food Truck Friday.
If you guys have food trucks and you want to be in, hit me up because we have a meeting coming up in 2 weeks also. So other than that, check us out. And that's it. Thanks, guys.